Hi, everybody. I'm Kaylee McMahon, founder of the Apartment Queen, the #1 female-focused multifamily investment firm. We are creating 1 billion she-investors by 2030. Take a minute to take this in. I know it's shocking. It shocked me as I received this message on my phone, or several messages on my phone. And the sad part that I hate to admit is that I didn't know how to help my friend get out of the situation. I'm embarrassed to admit that. I offered her a room in my home and she still didn't come and stay with me. And I didn't understand why until I did a little bit of research and understanding. So let's talk about that. Why is there a problem here? Two shocking facts I'll share with you. 1/3 of all women are abused. 98% of domestic violence victims are also experiencing financial abuse, which is a longer lasting damage. And financial abuse is the result from knowledge being withheld. Abuse equals power, equals financial power over women. What are we doing about it? So we are empowering women by giving them access to life-changing passive income from apartment investments. This is reducing poverty. We're also empowering females to be part of the sponsor team to change the image that you see here. We are also giving investment education to women through tech. And there should be no more fear of money like I experienced. And you should be able to understand, therefore be empowered. My personal solution to get out of abuse was cash flowing real estate. So I'm no longer a victim. Why apartment real estate? It's the #1 fastest way for her to build wealth and financial freedom. Women thrive with secure investments, and as you can see, the industry is huge and it's unlimited. How does our business model work? Good apartment deals are found by female sponsors. They are funded 3 ways, and she-investors get paid their money as it grows 4 different ways. How do we make money? Through acquisition, asset management, construction fees, and cash flow from equity ownership. Who do we serve? Your sisters, your aunts, your wives, any female in your life who are all queens. Imagine that somebody could invest in a crowdfunding offering that we have for as little as $700 on average. And we've also sliced our minimum in half for our fund compared to the industry average. So we're able to grow the total wealth with women right now that we have from 22 billion to 44 billion. Why would you choose us in this venture? Because we're the best fit. You want to know why? Because I personally have raised $3.5 million myself in the last 18 months. We have over $20 million raised from all of our investors as a team. You can see our experience here. This is not our first rodeo. And imagine a world where you do not have to hear that when someone's living in abuse, planning and goal setting is so foreign to your life, you just need to get through the day. I want to see more pictures like this before and after that you see here. I want abuse to no longer subject victims of abuse to poverty, financial insecurity, or persistent fear. If we could learn to teach survivors how to navigate the maze of the financial world, the rest of their lives may not seem so daunting. Now, what do we need from you? We need $5 million. What is this for? It is for our female-focused fund, 1. 2, it is for our app to educate more she-investors is what we call them. And where are we getting this money from? We're getting it from accredited individuals such as yourself, female crowdfunders, impact angels and investors, women minority-owned funds, and female-owned family offices. You do not want to miss this opportunity.
And that is amazing. Thank you so much, Queen. All right, let's start with Ty.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kaylee, for sharing that story. Yeah, I like literally have no words right now. I'm still kind of processing it. Thank you. I think right now I would just love to hear more about the content building aspect. So you said that on your platform, you have investment education. I'm curious to know, like, how does that work? Do you have podcasts? I think I saw on your website, you have podcasts and other kind of like books. I want to hear a little bit more about how it works and like how you're really reaching out to people who, might not even consider, like even think about this as an opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. So there's obviously different places where people are at in their lives, where they're living in fear or where they're directly out of it or in different places in life. And so we have a book coming out and then also the app. So the app was meant to be kind of something very convenient. You could just download on your phone for free and you could have it to where you go through all the cash flowing assets that are available in commercial real estate, period. and you can go watch videos of females who we've interviewed that go through the pros and cons of each. You take quizzes at the end of that, and then at the end of all of the different education that you've gone through, then they actually show you what a real investment document looks like, and you walk through the process of seeing what it looks like, and then you go to the free market, if you will, and go to different investment platforms to see what is available to invest in. And then our podcast, which is more so just empowering females to see that any kind of business model that you have, every one of them takes struggles, and how to get from, living in your parents' basement all the way through traction, and that you can do it too. So a couple of different things.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes.
Corbett or Megan?
Kaylee, thank you. The really powerful why and a motivation behind it. And, walking through it, one of my first questions originally was going to be about like the entry point in it, but, talking about how you lowered that minimum to $700, that answered the question, that side of the questions for me. I would love to learn a little bit more about just the economics of it, both for you and for the women involved in the program, in the sense that, a good business can support a great mission, and the more, you can grow the business, the more you can help others. So I just love to learn a little bit about how you make, funds and how the economics of it flow down to the people participating in it as well.
So can I ask for a rephrase of the question? Are you asking how the individuals who are involved, how they make money, or how the company makes money?
Actually, both. And no, good to rephrase it. Now, I just want to learn a little bit about the business model, both how you make money and then the individuals involved do as well.
Sure. So as active principals in the deal, so my partners and myself, there was a slide that mentions acquisition fees, asset management fees, and I'm trying to remember what's on there. So we have 3 different fees that we charge doing each deal. And then in addition to that, we have equity ownership, which cash flow, depending on the kind of structure, whether it's, I don't want to get into the details, but, waterfall or this or that. So there's different fee structures that we make depending on our performance as well.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as on the user's end, so what we've seen in our track record is that between 12 and 24 months so far, and we've gotten some larger deals recently, which are going to be a longer hold, but we've been able to double the assets value or double our basis in 12 to 24 months. And so, for example, if someone were to put in $25,000, which is the minimum now for that fund, which is the half of the industry average of 50, then that would be doubled in that same time frame. Plus, they also get tax advantages. Plus, they also get refi cash out if we cash out at refi. And then in addition, they get the cash flow from the rents that we distribute until we sell.
Cool. No, yeah, it's helpful. I'm not as close to that world at all. It's helpful just to understand again the different facets of it. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, Megan.
Yeah, that was helpful, Kaylee, and also thank you for telling that story too. Can you share a little bit more about how you source the projects themselves?
Yeah. So the projects are sourced, or our history of where we've sourced them from. We have one new strategic method for this new year I finally got access to, but it's been through brokers in the commercial real estate world, on market and off market. It's been from property management companies who know their owner is going to sell, from lenders who service their own debt, and then also from just knowing other people through the industry through relationships.
And what would you say are the initial main check boxes that you look to fill in those initial conversations, vetting them out?
So do you mean what's our deal criteria?
Basically, yeah.
Sure. So we do workforce housing. So we work with communities that are, people that work at a GM plant, for example, nearby. So we're looking for a 1970 or newer property. We're looking at very specific criteria. I don't know if you want to go down the whole thing, but around 100 units, Texas, because we have one of the 10th largest economies in the country. And then we're very tax friendly, landlord friendly, and business friendly. Value add, C-class. I don't want to get into all the details, but yeah.
In a general sense too. Great, thank you.
She knows real estate, obviously. Kaylee knows all the deeds. Hit her up.
I don't want to bore everybody else.
No, you're good. Question from the audience from Megan. This is a good one. Thanks, Megan. I work with the shelter here in Chicago. Hey, Chicago. Most of the women in the shelters and programs are non-documented, non-English speakers. Will your program be multilingual and help give back to shelters?
That is actually an area that I was just thinking about last night after pitching to another friend of mine who's very much involved in non-for-profits for women. And right now, currently, our business model does have a gap when it comes from anyone that's under that $700 threshold. And so, as part of some of our, what do you call, if I exit the screen real quick, some of our milestones that are coming up is that we're going to be partnering with shelters and partnering with like DARC in Dallas, which is a Dallas area rape crisis center, and some other areas. So we do have that gap to fill particularly.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Important work.